Puck's not in there. He's not.
Welcome to another episode of Malcolm Goes Outside. Today's going to be a little bit of a history lesson about kind of where we're from.
Nice.
So we decided to head out to a little neighboring town called American Falls. It is about 25 miles from Pocatello. During this time of year, fall time, the reservoir that American Falls sits right next to gets really, really low, and you can go out way far by the water and go explore. During the summer would probably be underwater, and you get to just check out a lot of historical artifacts and a lot of obsidian that you can find out there. And all of that is because of the American Falls Dam.
Get your pet. It's like watching it through third person with a camera.
Yeah. Ready, Riff? Ready, Riff? He's down there. Sit. Sit. River, sit. River, sit. River, sit. 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 Good boy.
Should I take some pictures?
So the town of American Falls, where it sits now, is actually not where the original spot actually was where it was located. It was actually located pretty much right where the reservoir sits now, pretty much right at the beginning of where the dam is. The town was placed there all the way up to 1925. They actually tore down all of the buildings and practically put them on little trailers and relocated the entire town where it sits now. Back in 1925, I think it cost them about $3 million to move the entire town. And the government, I believe, funded it. So I guess like in today's money, I think it would have cost like $47 million to move the entire town. And that is because they wanted to build a dam because of flooding issues and stuff like that, I believe.
I like this leash that we got.
We got that in like St. George, didn't we?
No, I think it was Cedar City.
Something like that. Get your wave!
Now, the first dam that they built was from, I believe it took them from 1925 to 1927 to build the dam. And pretty much the town had where the new town is going, or was going to be, relocated. And I believe it took the entire town about a year to relocate the entire town. Now, as you can see in this picture, it actually took me a little while to figure out that this was the original dam, but the original dam ran longer across than the dam that is there now, which I will get to in just a moment. It pretty much, the spillways or whatever, kind of flowed out into this kind of pool, and then it kind of went into a single channel and flowed into the rest of the river. This little house that is sitting here up on the rocks was the powerhouse. So that is pretty much what the town used for electricity. It was the generator house pretty much for the town's entire electricity source. So the original dam lasted from about 1926 to, well, the last year that it was actually there was 1978. The dam over those years just corroded and just got really weak and was not really usable anymore. So in 1974, they decided to build a new dam, which is the one that they have currently. And you can see in this photo, right in front of the dam, you can see the old walls of the old dam. So they really only moved it downstream, only like maybe a few hundred yards. And it's actually a lot smaller now. The channelways are a lot skinnier. They don't stretch across as far. And they don't really use well, they don't use the powerhouse at all anymore. You can see all the roof is totally gone there now. So, and before the dam was even there used to be a small waterfall that would kind of roll over the rocks and stuff like that, which is where the town got its name of American Falls, because of the little falls that was there. So like I said before, during fall time, what is really cool is you can go down to pretty much where the old town used to be, and you can go check out all of the old foundations of the buildings and houses and churches and whatever else kind of buildings that were there. You can't really tell what kind of buildings they really were, just because it's just foundation and sidewalks, but you can see old tree stumps that were there, and pretty much just a lot of demolished old foundations from the 1920s and before.
Can you get up here? Can you get up here? Gipper! Come on, Gipper! 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 Come on, Gipper!
No.
Gipper! Come on, Gipper!
Hey,
Gipper!
be careful.
You get up here! You get up here! Woo! Dude, he almost did it though. He's
I know. He was hanging on.
Gipper! Oh yeah, good boy! Where's Mom? You better go get her. Go get her! Go get Mom! Go get her!
Go see him. Go see him. Go see him. Go see him. Go get him. Go get him. Get him, Rip. Where's Dad? Go get him.
Oh, Mr. Webb!
So this grain silo, or grain elevator is what I've seen that it's called, is the only actual structure that is still standing from before they had the first dam built. And the reason why it's still standing is because the foundation goes like 40 feet underground, so it's pretty planted into the ground, so they couldn't really move that, so they just left it. But in this old photo here, you can see the old building that went around it, which is pretty insane. When you get closer up to it, you can actually see the water line on how high up the water actually goes on it. It's only about a quarter of the way up. It's a pretty cool little remnants of the old town that used to be there. So yeah, as fall goes on and winter comes upon us, the water level will probably continue to drop, and you'll be able to see more and more of the foundations. And from some of the photos that I've found of the old American Falls town, you can see the way that the sidewalks are actually lined out, and you can actually tell where the old roads used to be. And the old roads were not paved, they were actually dirt roads. But nowadays, it's pretty much just a fun little recreational area to go ride four-wheelers, dirt bikes, UTVs, and go do jet skiing and boating and all that during the summer. I don't know how deep it is during the fall time and winter time, but you could even do some ice fishing during the winter as well. I knew that the town of American Falls was relocated, but I never actually knew how or why they did it. So I did a little bit of research on it and found all of this information out, thought it was pretty interesting, and decided to share it with everybody else out there. So that is a quick little brief history lesson on the town of American Falls, Idaho. Definitely a lot more intriguing of a town than I thought it was. And yeah, if you're ever in the area in fall or winter time, definitely head out to the reservoir and check it out. It's pretty cool looking. It's kind of eerie, but don't believe anybody died in the relocating of the town of American Falls. If you enjoyed the video, make sure you like it, hit subscribe, and we will see you in the next one.